Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to another home game for your U12A Markham. Now, your Western's roster, starting with your girls at number 27, and number 33,
We go start the game. Orangeville Flyers versus Markham Waxers. Telford takes the draw. He'll chip it forward and bring it in over the blue line. Telford with a shot. Easy glove, bubbled. Waxers goaltender will cover that for a whistle. Telford again on the draw. Wins it to Lunny on the near boards. Lunny skates it in, throws it out front. Back to Telford. Going to the boards. Waxers pick it up and bring it up out of their zone. Jeffrey Stedman sends it back out. Waxers are in offside. Telford back for the draw. Won by the Waxers. They'll throw it in to the Flyers' end. Jeffrey Stedman off the boards to Lunny. Lunny chips it over the red line and sends it into the Waxers zone. Waxers D fired around the far boards to the blue line, kept in by Mass. We'll get that to Andrade. Waxers pick up the puck along the near boards. Bring behind their net and fired around the far side. Played to the blue line, just offside. Flyers have to clear, they're good. Waxers pick up that loose puck, skated out through neutral ice. Into the Flyers' end. To the far corner, Mass intercepts that pass, sends it back in the corner, fires it around the far boards. To Nickel. Nickel leaves it for Darling. Darling in over the blue line. Walks around the defenders, gets tied up, backhand. Saved by the tender. Loose puck in the corner, picked up by Darling. He's looking for somebody up front, nobody there. Played to the blue line and out. Nickel picks it up in neutral ice. Ships it forward to Darling. Darling and over the blue line. He'll walk around. Shove it towards the net and gets pushed into the goaltender. Pass these pucks, boys. Darling back in for the draw. He'll win it to Savory at the point. Savory with the shot, just wide. That puck stops hard along the backboards. To the near corner, picked up by DeCamillis. DeCamillis out front for Nickel. Nickel with the second attempt shot. Just wide of the net. Darling behind there, picked it up. Brings it to the far corner. Darling circles out, shot, loose puck. Cleared out of the way by the Waxers to the far boards, and they'll skate it out. Cross-ice pass attempt, blocked by Nickel. Kept brought out by DeCamillis at the blue line. He gets bumped. Chips the puck forward, but the Waxers defense send it back to the Flyers zone. O'Shea lifts that into the Waxers end. They'll fire it around the far boards. Kept in by Andrade. Second effort. Brings it offside. Waxers pull it out of their end. Chip it in over the Flyers' blue line and in there, get along the near boards. Ambrosio lifts that. Icing's waved off. Felix given the chase. Waxers fired around the far side. Picked up by Andrade. Couldn't quite hold it. Waxers up to the blue line. Ambrosio strips that. Fires it behind the net to Andrade. Andrade in the near side. Gets it to the half boards. To the blue line and out. Sloan sends it back in. Ambrosio touched it on his way back out. 6:38 to go in the first period. Still no score. Ambrosio, he takes the draw, chips it over the blue line for Felix. Felix takes it wide around the defense, hits the brakes, lets a shot go, blocked in front. Waxers pass it up out of the blue line. Sloan leaves it for Jeffrey Stedman. He'll send that back out of the Flyers' end. Andrade stripped by the Waxers. Thrown off the boards by Jeffrey Stedman. He's got it again. Second effort to the blue line. Not out. Waxers pick it up. Still in the Flyers' end. Chip it into the far corner. Waxers behind the Flyers' end. Wraparound attempt. Blocked by Sloan. Good play. Puck thrown towards the net. Steered wide by Dittman. Jeffrey Stedman off the boards to Ambrosio to the blue line. That'll be offside. Jeffrey Stedman picks it up, sends it to Felix along the near boards. Just out of his reach, and the Waxers backhand that through neutral ice. They'll chip it to the deep in the Flyers' end and go for a change. Telford up to Felix. Felix in through neutral ice. Over the blue line. Drops it there, gets knocked off the stick to the blue line, and the Waxers will carry it out. Cross to the far side. Savory's there to break that play up. Gets it to Nickel on the far boards. Nickel clears his zone. Ships it through neutral ice. Into the Waxers' end. Cleared up. Telford's there to keep that puck in play. Waxers turn around and skate it out. Chip deep in the Flyer zone. Mass. He'll send it off the boards to Nickel. Nickel couldn't quite get it out. Back to Mass. He'll send it to Lunny. Lunny up to Telford. Telford's in some traffic. Lunny picks it up. Lunny takes it wide. Goes towards the net. On Telford's stick. Telford makes some fancy moves to get around the defender. Markham, chip it to the blue line. Just out. Back in the Flyers' end. Mass. He's back first. Just overskated it. Gets it to Lunny on the near boards. Lunny with a bit of room. In over the blue line. Takes it to the opposite end. Waxers swipe at it and chip it out over the blue line. Thrown in. Just wide of the net. Savory gets it to Telford. Telford off the boards to Lunny. Lunny chips it. He's got Darling. Slows down. Lunny throws it into the Waxers' end. Waxers will win that foot race. Darling along the far boards. Gets it to Savory at the point. Savory winds up. Lets the shot go. Blocked in front. Cleared to the blue line and out. No, they'll keep it in. Just in. DeCamillis. Darling's down there somewhere. Darling comes up with it. Guglietti, who goes to the net, stripped by the Waxers, and they'll skate it back out of the zone. Thrown in on the far side, behind the Flyers' net. Savory picks up that loose puck. Off the boards to DeCamillis. He'll get the red line and chip it in. Not quite deep enough. Played to the blue line. And out. Darling avoids a hit. Darling still with the puck. Throws it off the boards to DeCamillis. In over the blue line. DeCamillis getting a bit of a hook. No call. Puck cleared to the far boards by the Waxers. To the blue line and out. Thrown off the boards down behind the Flyers' net. Sloan. He gets there first. Chips it in their corner. Waxers come up with it. Fire it behind the Flyers' net to O'Shea. O'Shea gets his clearing attempt intercepted. Darling gets a piece of it. He'll send it down. Just too far for icing. .222 to go in the first period. Flyers got to get something going here. Ambrosio off the draw. Won by the Waxers. They'll send it beside the net. O'Shea to the far boards. Played off them by Ambrosio. Back into O'Shea. He'll fire it off a Waxers player. O'Shea picks up the puck. Starts skating up with it. Picked up by the Waxers. Shot blocked in front by Sloan. Ambrosio sends it behind. He'll come up the far side. Clearing attempt. That's out of the zone. Waxers are offside. Ambrosio back with the puck. Sends it to the near boards. No Flyers there. Picked up by the Waxers. Back in the Flyers' end. Sloan. Off the boards. And I believe the Waxers are going to the box. Or not. I called that icing. .137 to go in the period. Ambrosio back in for the draw. Bouncing puck. Swiped at by the Waxers. They'll get it behind the Flyers net. Win that foot race. Mass gets it to the far corner. Ambrosio picks it up to Felix. Felix ships it up through center ice. Drags it in, just not quite onside. Nickel sends it into the zone, but cleared out immediately by the Waxers. Jeffrey Stedman fires that to the near corner. Puck comes to rest behind the Waxers net, picked up by Ambrosio. In some traffic. Played to the blue line to Mass. He'll send it off the boards to Nickel. Nickel swiping at it. Throws it towards the net, and the Waxers will hold that for a whistle. A little pushing afterwards. One minute to go in the first period. Waxers win the draw, clear to the blue line. Pops off, Mass is stick and out. Face off back in the Waxer zone. .49 seconds to go in the period. Telford. Waxers win the draw. They'll skate it behind their net, send it around the near boards. Picked off by Lunny. They'll kick it into the corner. Loose puck out before the net. Played around the far boards by the Waxers to Mass at the point. Couldn't get it. Second effort gets it to Telford. Telford cycling deep. Throws it out front to Andrade. Andrade couldn't pull the trigger. Back to Telford. Telford in all kinds of traffic. Puck comes back to Andrade. 15 seconds to go in the period. Shot. Up down by the Waxers goaltender. Telford in for the draw. He's getting waved out. Lunny will step in place. Waxers win the draw. To the far boards. Andrade swipes at it. Second effort, gets it in. To the slot. Clearing attempt, blocked by Telford. Loose puck to the near boards. That'll do it for the first period. Little discussion after the whistle there. No score after one period. There you go to start the second period. Darling in for the draw. Draw one by the Waxers along the far boards. They'll pick it up, back, bring it into their zone. Thrown up the near side to the blue line. Kept in by Savory. DeCamillis pins it along the boards, shovels it forward. Waxers fire that puck around behind the net to the near boards. O'Shea at the blue line keeps it in with a good stick. DeCamillis picks up that loose puck, skates it across to the far side. Around, throws it out front. Darling with the shot, deflected wide. DeCamillis along the backboards. Gets bumped, loose puck. All three Flyers forwards are in the corner. Guglietti, Darling. Darling lost it up the half boards. Picked up by the Waxers and they'll play it through. Back in the Flyers' end. Thrown wide to the far corner. Waxers chip it to the near side. O'Shea on his man, gets it up to Darling, or Guglietti. Guglietti out over the blue line. It's a bit tied up. We got 3-on-1 here. Guglietti in over the blue line. Centering attempt, blocked by the lone defender. Waxers turn it around and bring it in the other direction. Good play at the blue line by O'Shea to keep it out. Savory read that pass beautifully. Ambrosio picks it up, changes directions, gets to Nickel along the half boards. Nickel chips it to the blue line, not out. Waxers dump it back in the Flyers' end. O'Shea has a bit of a look, gets it to Nickel. Nickel, pass intended for Felix, comes back in the Flyers' end. Savory off the boards. A little too much. No ice, they waved it off. They slowed down. Waxers play it off the boards. Takes a bit of a weird hop. Center ice. Jeffrey Stedman with a good stick. Ambrosio to Nickel. Nickel along the near boards, gets center ice and chips it in. To the near corner. Played behind the net for Felix. Felix leaves it there for Nickel. Nickel backhands to Ambrosio. He's got a bit of room. Backhand shot wide of the net. Rebound along the far boards. Played out front. Nickel. He gets a piece of it. Throws it on net. Shot right in the glove of the goaltender. Telford steps in for the Flyers, take the draw. He'll win it to Andrade, picked up by the Waxers. Lunny, shot. Waxers goaltender, hold that. Telford wins that draw to Lunny. Lunny to the blue line to Jeffrey Stedman. He'll backhand that in right to a Waxers stick. Waxers skate over the red line and dump it in the Flyers' end. Telford chips it off the boards to Lunny. Lunny swipes at it, just couldn't quite reach it. Waxers dump it back in the Flyers' end. Jeffrey Stedman plays it off the far boards to the blue line, not out. Sloan, he'll get it out to the blue line. Waxers have to clear and they'll dump the puck back in. Still offside. Sloan. He's got time. To Andrade. To the blue line, not out. Loose puck. Again. Waxers keep it in the Flyers' end. Thrown on net. Dibman will cover that for a whistle. Bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle. Looks like he's sending them both. Sloan taking exception to that chip on the goaltender after the whistle. Offsetting Miners. Telford wins the draw behind the net to Savory. He doesn't get all of it. Puck comes to the near corner. Oh, picked up. Thrown out front. Shot. Dibman will hold that one for a whistle. .23 to go in the second period. Still no score. Darling steps in for the draw. He'll win it into the Waxers States. Loose puck comes out front. Waxers didn't get the shot off. Mass off the boards. Darling back to Mass. Mass will send it off. Try to send it off the boards again. Waxers stick intercepts that. Darling hits the brakes, changes direction. It's got a bit of room. Plays it up. Off the boards to Guglietti. Guglietti picks it up. In over the blue line. Across to DeCamillis. DeCamillis with a shot. Stick save. Rebound. In the net. And they score. Darling steps in for the draw. He'll chip it forward, picked up by the Waxers. Thrown to the Flyers blue line, kept out. Darling reaching for it. The Waxers chip it off the boards to the far corner. Mass, he gets there first. Plays it off the side of the net. He'll pick it up, send it around the near corner for Guglietti. Guglietti picks it up, gets a bit of a bump. Guglietti with the puck, backhands that to Darling. Darling out over the blue line. Into the Waxers' end, steps around a hit. Waxers are all over him. Loose puck. Sticks are swiping at it. Waxers skated out of their zone to center ice and lifted into the Flyers' end. Bounces over Mass's stick. Mass to Darling. Darling brings it back in deep. Finds a bit of room. Hits Luca at the point. Luca over the red line. He gets squished. Waxers fire the puck around the near boards. Flyers are changing. Up to center ice. And they'll chip it into the Flyers' end. Jeffrey Stedman off the near boards. Intended for Ambrosio to Nickel. Neither of them touch it. Waxers overskate it. Nickel tries to clear it right into a Waxers player to the blue line, not out. Thrown towards the net. Dittman will cover that. Ambrosio in for the draw. He'll win it to the far corner. Jeffrey Stedman fires it around the boards. Nickel. Nickel gets a piece of it off the boards to center ice. Back in the Waxers' end. They'll pick it up, skate it behind their net. Nickel with a good stick. Gets a piece of it. Steps around the defender, walks out. Shot off the post and in. Ambrosio steps in for the draw. He'll win it to Felix. Felix in over the blue line. Chips it into traffic. Waxers get a stick on it. To the blue line, just out. Center ice picked up by Felix. Tries to play it into some open ice. O'Shea steps up, gets it to Ambrosio. He'll lift it in off the far boards. Waxers fired around the near side. Picked up by Felix. He'll skate along the blue line and in. Felix with the shot. Rebound. No Flyers were there to capitalize on it. Played again to the near boards. Waxers. Pass to center ice. Back over the boards. Into the Flyers' end. Blind pass picked up by Ambrosio. He'll skate it around. Ambrosio in over the blue line. He lets a shot go from the point. Almost beat the glove. Held by the goaltender. Telford wins the draw. To Savory. Savory to Lunny. Lunny in the far corner. Pass stripped by the Waxers. Played along the boards to the blue line and out. Mass at center ice. Turns it around. Lifts it off the boards to Lunny. He gets pinned. Gets it to the blue line. No further. Mass to Telford. Telford stick handling. Still in neutral ice. Telford chips it over the blue line. Gets stopped at the boards. Thrown to the blue line, kept in by Savory. Waxers pick it up. Fired off the near boards to the blue line and out. Just bounced over Mass's stick. Now it's a foot race. Mass sends it off the near boards to the blue line. Andrade couldn't get it out. Telford's there to help. Telford along the near boards. Lifts it in deep to the near corner. Telford gets it out, picked up by a Waxers player. They'll send it off the far boards to the blue line. Savory banks it into Lunny. Lunny turns, gets it deep in the far corner. Telford backhands it to the half boards, picked up by the Waxers, and shot by Savory just wide of the net. Andrade and Mass along the near boards to Telford, gets his stick checked. Andrade, he dances around the defender, lets a shot go, off the glove and off the post and out. Rebound kept in by Savory. Just cleared. Telford's there. He'll walk it back in to Andrade. Andrade takes it wide. All kinds of pressure. Waxers cleared to the blue line. Kept in. Nope. Just offside. Lunny. Nope. Waxers send it all the way down the ice. That's good for icing. 6:03 to go in the second period. Darling steps in for the draw. Won by the Waxers. In some traffic. Picked up by DeCamillis in the feet. The Waxers come up with it. Darling, good stick to DeCamillis into the corner. DeCamillis picks it up. Gets taken down, no call. Puck comes to the far corner. Darling pins his man there. Puck screech out to the half boards. Sloan walks out with a shot. Block pad save. Rebound to the near boards. Picked up by the Waxers. Guglietti strips it. Held at the blue line, walks in. Shot from a steep angle, wide of the net. Rebound. Picked up by DeCamillis. Out of the blue line. Up to Darling. Darling sends it in deep. Guglietti in on the forecheck. DeCamillis around the far boards to help him out. Waxers kick it up to their stick. Played off the boards to the blue line. Kept in by Sloan. He'll send it back in to DeCamillis. He skates around. Gets stick kick. Throws it out front. Through the skates of Guglietti. Cleared out over the blue line. Back in the Flyers' end. O'Shea turns. Sends it up the boards to Guglietti. Just in some traffic. Guglietti picks it up. Back in the Waxer zone. Shot. Saved by the Waxers. Rebound sits there, but no Flyers there to pick it up. Played around the far side. DeCamillis pressuring along the boards. 4.5 minutes to go in the period. Darling walks out. Backhand. Shot saved by the goaltender. Darling still with the puck in the near side. Walks up. Throws it to O'Shea walking in. Just on his backhand. Waxers pick it up and clear it down the zone. Sloan picks up the loose puck, gets it across to O'Shea. O'Shea, a little too much sauce on that one. That'll go for icing. .355 to go in the period. Ambrosio in for the draw. Through his feet, gets it to the near corner for Mass. Waxers send it out front. Play it off the boards. Nickel with a good stick. Off the boards. Back in the Waxers' end. Nickel throws it out front. Picked up by Ambrosio. He's got it behind the net. Spinning. Gets taken down along the boards. No call. Waxers fired around the near side. Mass steps in. Keeps it alive. Nickel in traffic. Again off the boards to Mass. He'll fire it back in to Ambrosio. Takes a bit of a cross check. Felix in the near corner. Spins. Still has it. Walks out with it. And now I think Ambrosio's going to the box. Nickel steps in to take the draw. In some feet. Mass is there. Gets it to Felix. Felix gets a stick check. Puck's in the near boards. Felix clears it out. Waxer send it back in. Dimon will cover that and hold it for a whistle. Telford in for the draw, won by the Waxers. Shot blocked by Telford. Loose puck sitting there. Clear to the near corner. Waxers send it up to the point. Shot. Right on Dittman. He'll hold it for the whistle. Minute 35 to go on the Flyers penalty. Telford steps in for the draw. Won by the Waxers. Back to the point. Right in. Thrown towards the net. Dimon will cover that for a whistle. Flyers reset. They'll try that one again. Again, Waxers win the draw. Played across to Andretti. Andretti gets it to Telford. Telford with a stride. Backhander shot. He scores. Shorthanded goal. Callum Telford. Camillus to take the draw. Scrum draw. Picked up by the Waxers. They'll fire it into the Flyers' end in the near corner. Savory to the near corner for O'Shea. O'Shea gets it to the half boards, no further. Waxers will dump that puck back in the Flyers' end. And I think Camillus is going to the box. Interference. Flyers are down 2 men for 49 seconds. Lunny steps in to take the draw. Cleared to the near boards. Waxers played back to the point. Lunny with a good block. Gets it out. He'll lift that down the ice. Spinning. Picked up by the Waxers. They'll begin the breakout. 30 seconds to go in the first Flyers penalty. In over the blue line. Waxers take it wide. Centering attempt. Shot wide of the net. Savory clears it behind the net to the near corner for O'Shea. Waxers get it to the point. Lunny with another good block. Dumped back into the near corner behind the net. O'Shea. He'll change directions, bring it back to the near side. Lunny gets it in the corner. Waxers pick it up. That's it for the Flyers' first penalty. Savory behind the net. Spinning. Good move. Kicks it up to the half boards. Kept in by the Waxers, and they'll send it back in the far corner. Ambrosio backhands it to the far boards. Lunny with a good stick to get it to the point, or the blue line no further. Ambrosio off the boards to the blue line. Lunny picks it up. Lunny with a shot, scores! Flyers' second shorthanded goal, scored by Ethan Lunny. 35.9 seconds to go in the period. Darling steps in to take the draw for the Flyers. Won by the Waxers to the far side. Darling all over him. Thrown into the Flyers' end. Sloan clears it out. Waxers dump it back in. Jeffrey Stedman lifts it to the blue line. Picked up by Darling. He'll bring it to the near side. Changes directions. Just trying to kill the clock. kill off that Flyers penalty. Here to the blue line, picked up by the Waxers, and they'll skate it out. And over the Flyers end, Jeffrey Stedman gets a good piece of it, gets it to the near boards, to the corner, thrown out front, and that'll do it for the period. Score after 2, Flyers 4, Waxers 0. One second to go on the Flyers penalty to start the third period. Darling in for the draw. Darling wins the draw, gets it back to Sloan. Sloan steps around the wing. Up the far side to Guglietti. Guglietti in over the blue line. Guglietti hits the brakes, throws it out front. Darling was all tied up. I think DeCamillis got that one, or maybe Darling got a piece of it. Ambrosio takes the draw. Chips it to the Waxers blue line. Felix brings it in. Steps through the defenders and again to the other side. Shot off the shoulder. Rebound goes to the far side. Nickel sends it there for Ambrosio. Ambrosio chips it behind the net. Picks it up. Wraparound attempt. Pad save. Cleared out to the near boards. Ambrosio picks up that loose puck. Again throws it on net. The Waxers goalie will hold that for a whistle. Ambrosio on the draw, won by the Waxers, to the near corner, laid up the boards. Felix is there, breaks that play up. Waxers to the blue line, kept in by Savory. He gets that to Ambrosio. Ambrosio with a shot. Waxers goaltender hold that for a whistle. Flyers will reset. Ambrosio again off the draw. Loose puck picked up by Felix. Couldn't get a hold of it. It was bouncing. Waxers up through center ice. Kicked in by Savory. Behind the Flyers net to their near corner. Chip to the half boards. No further. Telford and Andrade battling along the near side. Waxers walk out with it. Cleared to the far point. Thrown in off the boards behind the Flyers net. Telford's there first. Kicks it forward to the corner, picked up by the Waxers. They'll send it back in the corner. Telford's there again. Backhands it to the blue line, kept in by the Waxers. They'll shoot it. Deflected. Didman with a good save. Coming out the back door. Savory got a piece of that. Waxers again. Shot blocked. Rebound comes out front, cleared to the far corner. Thrown to the blue line. That'll go down the length of the ice. Telford's in there first. Gets bumped. Tied up. Waxers cleared to the blue line and out. Lunny. He'll send that in. Kill off a little bit more of the penalty. Waxers pick up the loose puck. Play it up through center ice. Lunny to Darling. Darling gets a piece of it. Sends it in the Waxer zone. Darling walks out. Off the board. Shot. Off the post and in. Darling with the Flyers' third shorthanded goal tonight. Darling steps in to take the draw for the Flyers. Scrum draw. Sits there. Darling gets a piece of it. Walks around the defenders. Gets it to the far boards. Stripped by the Waxers, and they'll turn it around. Waxers through center ice. In over the blue line. Played to the near corner. He'll hit the brakes. Keep the puck in deep. Darling behind the net. Chips it to the far corner. Picked up by O'Shea. He'll send it off the boards to the blue lines and out. Felix picks up that loose puck. All kinds of traffic. Both players get hauled down. Puck along the far corner. Comes out. Picked up by the Waxers. They'll play it off the far boards. Out of the blue line and center ice. O'Shea couldn't get all of that one. Played back in the Flyer zone. Sloan steps around. Not enough to get it out of the blue line. Across ice. Under his stick. Darling gets stepped in. I think the Waxers are going for a penalty this time. They're both going. What? Are you blind? Oh, yeah, he was. 88 white, not 88 black. Four minutes for head contact. Darling steps in to take the draw for the Flyers. Won by the Waxers to the far near corner. Played around off the side of the net. Picked up by DeCamillis. He'll take it wide. Thrown out front. Darling picks it up in the near corner. Moving around. Plays it behind the net to DeCamillis. DeCamillis under pressure. Gets bumped into the corner. Darling steps in. Darling still with the puck. Kicks it into the corner. All kinds of cross checks right in front of you, ref. You're not seeing it? Darling with the puck. Brings it to the far corner. Darling spins around. And again. Darling out front. Bad save by the goaltender. Played to the blue line and out. Use your defense, boys. Jeffrey Stedman picks up that loose puck. Gets it to DeCamillis at the Flyers' blue line. He'll skate it out. Lift it to Ambrosio. Ambrosio lets it go to the near corner. Picked up by the Waxers. She'll spin to the half boards. Thrown to the blue line and out. Waxers send it down into the Flyer zone. Mass picks it up in the near corner. Spins, changes directions, goes to the far side. Mass to Nickel. Nickel to Ambrosio. Ambrosio gets the red line and backhands that into the zone. Ambrosio goes right for the puck. Waxers to the blue line, kept in by Savory. Played off the boards. The Waxers are there. Get a stick on it and send it into Flyers' end. O'Shea gets a piece of it. Off the far boards. Waxers send it back into Flyers' end to O'Shea, to Ambrosio. Ambrosio hits Felix at the blue line. Waxers pick it up. Ambrosio dumps it into the near corner. 1:48 to go in the Flyers power play. Waxers with the puck along the far side. Throw it to the blue line, kept in by O'Shea. O'Shea couldn't get the shot off. He missed it. It's a foot race. Savory with a good skate. Keeps it off his stick. O'Shea to Ambrosio. Ambrosio in over the blue line. He'll take it wide. Walks in with it. Shot just wide of the net. Rebound comes to Savory at the blue line. Try to chip it in. Takes a funny hop. Flyers got to change their D. Waxers win that foot race. Loose puck. Shot off the side of the net. O'Shea leaves it there in the near corner. Sends it to the far side. Waxers are there. Waxer's still with the puck. Try to walk out with it. Telford's in the way. O'Shea picks up that loose puck. Backhands it to the blue line to Lunny. Lunny chips it over. Centering pass to Andretti. Andretti tried to get it back to Lunny. Picked off by the Waxers. Sloan trips over something. The Waxers are back in the Flyers' end. Lunny all over his man. Waxers play to the near corner. Sloan. Telford. Telford comes up with it. And out over the blue line. Telford brings it into the Waxer zone. To the near side. Centering attempt. Pops over Andretti's stick. Lunny. He throws it back to Andretti. Andretti to Telford. Stripped by the Waxers. They'll chip it out to the blue line. Kept in by Sloan. Waxers' second effort. Get it out. Lunny throws it off the boards around the offense. Lunny picks up the zone puck behind the net. Walks around. Throws it out front to Andretti. Andretti tries to feed Telford. Stripped by the Waxers. They'll play it up to the blue line and out. Back across the other side. Waxers throwing it into the far corner. 6.5 minutes to go in the period. Darling. He picks up the loose puck. Out over his own blue line. Through center ice. Darling steps around. Tries to split the D. Lost the puck in the near corner. Waxers play it off the boards to the blue line. Half board, sorry. Darling to DeCamillis. DeCamillis sends it deep. Guglietti applies some pressure. Puck out the far side. Waxers send it to the near side. Stretch pass kept in. DeCamillis applying pressure. Puck to the boards. Savory punches that into the near corner. DeCamillis. Guglietti's in there helping him out with Darling. Guglietti comes up with it behind the net. He gets taken down. DeCamillis walks up with it. Throws out front. Guglietti gets a piece shot. Pad saved by the goaltender. Guglietti picks up that loose puck along the boards. Brings it back behind the Waxers net. Tries to walk out with it. Has a stick check. All kinds of bodies flying everywhere in front of the Waxers net. No call by the ref that's standing right there. Loose puck, center ice. Brought into the Flyers zone by the Waxers. Play to the blue line and out. Guglietti gets a good slash. Played back out. And Waxers will touch it for offside. Ambrosio in for the draw. In the ref's feet. Chipped to center ice, dumped into the Flyers end by the Waxers. Sloan in the near corner. Throws it off, high off the boards. Waxers there to keep it in. Played out the far side to the blue line, kept in. O'Shea with the bouncing puck. In his feet. Ambrosio to Felix. At center ice. Felix drops it there for Ambrosio. He shovels it into the Waxers end. Waxers pass it up to their own blue line and out. Sloan chips it into Felix. Back to Sloan. To Felix to Nickel. Nickel to Felix. Waxers get it to the far corner. Pass it up to the blue line and skate it out. Dumping attempt off of O'Shea's skate. Picked up by Ambrosio. Felix in offside. Last move at the blue line puts him offside. Telford in for the draw. He'll win it to Lunny. Lunny dumps it into the near corner. Waxers out the far side. to neutral ice, and Grady strips it, gets it to Telford. Telford turns it around, back in the zone. Backhands that across ice to Lunny. Lunny thrown it front to Telford, scores with the one-timer. 3:13 to go in the third period. In the near side, gets taken down. And the Waxers will touch that for a whistle. It keeps dropping. Yeah, it's back up now, but it keeps crapping out. Darling steps in for the draw. He'll win it to DeCamillis. DeCamillis to Jeffrey Stedman. He'll throw it towards the net. Hits a player and bounces to the near corner. Waxers with the puck. DeCamillis all over his man. In the near corner. Darling steps in to help. Waxers drive it up the near boards to Jeffrey Stedman. To DeCamillis. He'll chip it around his player into the near corner again. Picked up by Darling. Darling walks out untouched. Shot. Top corner and in. .2:14 to go in the third period. Darling steps in to take the draw. He'll win it to Guglietti. Guglietti steps around the defenders, gets a stick check, throws an elbow, and he's going to the box. It wasn't head contact, but wow. Felix in for the draw, won by the Waxers. They'll play it back to the point. Lost control, kept it in the zone. Felix gets a piece of it. He'll send that down the ice. Nickel. He's trying to get there first. Pins it in the far corner. Picked up by the Waxers. And they'll pass it up to the blue line and out. Waxers in over the blue line, just onside. Savory tries to beat that pinch, but not quite enough. Waxers lost control. Savory with the puck in the near side, sends it around the near boards. Waxers walk out with it. Shot. Dibman with the save. Savory picks up the rebound, fires it behind the net to the far boards. To Nickel, gets a piece of it, not quite enough. Felix picks up the loose puck. Skates it out through neutral ice into the Waxer zone. He'll walk out. Shot. He scores. 1:06 to go in the period. Flyers got a double minor there for head contact. There's 3 minutes to go in that penalty. Ambrosio steps in to take the draw for the Flyers. Scrum draw, won by Ambrosio to Andrade. Andrade, he sends that into the Flyer zone to Sloan. Sloan off the boards to center ice. Ambrosio skates through everybody. Gets it to the blue line, no further. Sloan fires it back to the blue line. Ambrosio with the puck. In the Waxers' end. Chips it behind to the far corner. Waxers along the far boards, chip it out. Jeffrey Stedman across to Sloan. Sloan steps around the attacker. And again, Sloan gets the red line, fires it down the ice. 30 seconds to go in the game. Waxers pick up the loose puck. Tried to clear it. Right on Ambrosio's stick. He'll just send it into the corner. Ambrosio still with the puck. Plays it behind the Waxers' net. We'll bring it up the near side. Cross ice pass into the Flyer zone. Waxers pick it up. Lost control in the slot. 3 seconds to go. Thrown towards the net. Deflected wide. And that'll do it for the game.